Hello and welcome back. In the last video we talked about how to complete the square. Completing the square allowed us to convert from the standard form of a quadratic equation to the vertex form of a quadratic equation. In the last video we specifically did examples with simple trinomials, and in this video we're going to do two examples with complex trinomials. So if you don't recall, a complex trinomial basically has a number in front of the x squared term other than 1. So in this case, the number in front of the x squared term is 2. We have this complex trinomial in the standard form, and we are going to use completing the square to convert it to vertex form. So there are two extra steps that you need to take when you're completing the square for complex trinomials. The first step is the same. We're going to put two brackets around the first two terms. The first new step is that you're going to factor out the greatest common factor from the two terms inside of the brackets. And you only focus on the coefficients, or the numbers. So you're not going to factor out any x terms, just numbers. So in this case, we notice that 12x can be rewritten as 2 times 6x. So we know that the common factor is 2. We can factor out the 2 from that expression. And once we do that, the next step is the same as before. So we will color code the number in front of the x. We will then divide it by 2 and square it. So we divide 6 by 2 to get 3, and square 3 to get 9. This next step is again the same as before, so we are going to both add and subtract the resulting number. So this will give us 2 times x squared minus 6x plus 9 minus 9 plus 10. And here is the second new step. So normally we would just carry out the negative value outside of the brackets as follows. But because there is a 2 in front of the brackets, we also have to multiply that by 2. So when we carry it outside of the brackets, we'll have 9 times 2, which will give us 18. And as a result, we'll have negative 18 plus 10. Negative 18 plus 10 is negative 8. And then, once again, we're left with a simple trinomial that we have to factor. So two numbers that add up to negative 6 and multiply to 9 are negative 3 and negative 3. So negative 3 plus negative 3 is equal to negative 6, and negative 3 times negative 3 is equal to 9. So as a result, we can factor that simple trinomial as 2 times x minus 3 times x minus 3 minus 8. We know that x minus 3 times x minus 3 is x minus 3 squared, and as a result, we get that resulting expression. So we now have the vertex form of the quadratic equation. So to summarize, we established that the original form was in standard form, and the new form is in vertex form. So once again, we have used completing the square to convert the standard form of a quadratic equation into the vertex form of the quadratic equation. We know that based on this equation, the vertex is given by 3, negative 8. Recall that the number inside of the brackets is the x value of the vertex, noting that we flip the sign, so because we have negative 3, it becomes plus 3, and the negative 8, or the value outside of the brackets, becomes the y value of the vertex. And in that case, we do not flip the sign, so we have that the y value of the vertex is negative 8. So why don't we do one more example? This example is going to have the exact same steps as the previous example. Once again, we have a complex trinomial. The first thing we're going to do is place brackets around the first two terms. We note that 12x can be written as 3 times 4x. The common factor is therefore 3, so we can factor the 3 out of that expression. We color code the number in front of the x, so in this case it is 4. And we divide it by 2 and then square it. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 squared is 4. We then add and subtract 4 to the expression inside of the brackets. And once again, when we carry out the negative 4, we need to make sure to multiply it by the number in front of the brackets. So in this case, negative 4 times negative 3 is 12, and we get 12 minus 2 outside of the brackets. 12 minus 2 is 10, and we are once again left with a simple trinomial that we have to factor. So two numbers that add up to 4 and multiply to 4 are 2 and 2. Right, so 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, and 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So we can factor it as x plus 2 times x plus 2. And we know that x plus 2 times x plus 2 is x plus 2 squared. So as a result, we get negative 3 times x plus 2 squared plus 10. So that is our equation in vertex form. To summarize, we have that the first equation that we began with was in standard form, and the equation that we established using completing the square is in vertex form. We know that based on the equation in vertex form, we have that the vertex is given by negative 2, 10. Once again, we established that the value inside of the brackets is the x value of the vertex. So because we have 2 inside of the brackets, we have negative 2 for the x value of the vertex. And the value outside of the brackets is 10. So we have that the y value of the vertex is 10. I will add some color coding to help you better visualize it. So that is all I wanted to go over for this video. Thanks for watching.